You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to beautiful Long Pond, Pennsylvania, and picturesque Monroe County, Pennsylvania, home of the Tricky Triangle for round number 6 of the Racers Elite Cup Series. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Trapasso. Welcome to Pocono Raceway. 2.5 miles of pure pleasure if you love this place, or 2.5 miles of pure hell if you're like me and don't like driving this place, because I have never had good luck here personally. But we've got 6 drivers on tap right now that are hoping to have the best of luck here tonight as hot lap session, getting ready to wind on down, getting ready to click things over into qualifying. Andrew Teft in the 6th, currently sitting quick time, 60 thousandths to the good over the rest of the field. Everybody within 0.2, though. That's the good news. As there goes the practice session, here comes the qualifying session. 10 minutes on the clock. Who's going to be the first one to roll it off pit road? Let's take a quick look at the weather conditions coming into tonight. 79-degree ambient air temperature, not too shabby. 2-mile-an-hour winds, again, not too shabby. It's a tailwind coming down the front chute here, so that's going to give us some pretty good speeds. Very low barometric pressure. 53% relative humidity, which means the engines are going to be making some pretty good smoke under the hood. 110-degree track temperature. That's the one part that's concerning me right now, is the fact that we are in triple digits for track temperature. Dennis Kane going to be the first one to come off a pit road in that Kevin Harvick tribute scheme. Number 4, Ford Mustang. As Ed DeBoer in his Chevy out on track right now. The lone Toyota in the field, Paul Shaw, coming off pit road right now as well. And he is from Pennsylvania, so a little bit of a hometown hero action going on here tonight with Paul. We're going to try to talk to him at some point this evening, but yeah. Local boy coming through the tunnel turn right now. Let's check back in with Dennis Kane, as he's going to be the first one to go on the clock out of Detroit on his first of 2 flyers. That wind, remarkably, that wind is holding very steady at 2 miles an hour straight down the front straightaways. It's a tailwind there. So that's the good news. The only thing is they're bucking a little bit of a headwind coming down the Long Pond straightaway where Kane is right now. So that's going to be something to be mindful of all night. Coming through the tunnel turn, not too shabby. Pretty tidy line right now. This is going to be provisional P1. As through turn 3, and you see the sign on the wall, what turn 4? It's only 3 corners here. And across the stripe for the first lap, Ed DeBoer, Dennis Kane sitting 1-2 right now. Paul Shaw is on one, though. He went purple in the first sector. And for those of you wondering what I'm talking about when I say purple, green means it's your personal best lap, or personal best sector. Purple means you're the best overall, and that's exactly what Paul Shaw, the hometown hero, just did. Currently second quick time, 30 thousandths to the good. 54.6 dead to a 54.63 for DeBoer. As we are going to take a look at DeBoer right now. There he is coming through the tunnel turn. No, sorry, coming through turn 3 right now. Good charge to the line for DeBoer. He's going to improve his time and does improve his position again. Goes 54.32. Kane did not improve. Paul Shaw coming out of 3 now. A little bit shallow. This could cost Shaw some time. Second lap for Shaw. Does improve to a 54.4 flat, but not better than that 54 deuce that DeBoer put up. Corey Crowell out on track right now, coming through 1. Getting ready to head down the Long Pond straightaway. Now he is on his first flyer. As Kirby Wainscott goes up to 5th quick on his first. There is Kirby in the Castrol GTX number 10. Jarrett Larder. There is the Mountain Dew Amped Energy number 2. The Deuce getting ready to put lap 1 in the books. 5th quick. No. Growl went 5th quick. Larder is on the clock right now. Is that Mountain Dew Ford? Or sorry, Mountain Dew Chevy heading down the Long Pond straightaway. Just on the other side of those trees is actually Long Pond. Some people have mistakenly referred to it as a Finger Lake, but unfortunately, you're a little bit south for it to be the Finger Lakes. Coming through turn 3, nice tidy line through 3 for Larder. Got a good head of steam coming to the line. It's going to be a solid time regardless. Well, 7th quick, not too shabby. Crowell goes up to 3rd. Shoo, nice lap for the 21. Alex Teft on the green right now in the United States Air Force out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. That Air Force Chevy wound up and set quick time in practice. Let's see what he can carry over into qualifying here. He's bringing all the smoke down the Long Pond straightaway. I guarantee you his foot is through the floorboard right now. And I'm sorry, that's Alex. Andrew set quick time. As Andrew is out on track right now, is Alex coming through turn 2. Nice and tidy line there. There is Andrew in the other Castrol Ford. Getting back to Alex, though. This is going to be a solid lap. This is going to be a very solid lap. I gave some up in the final corner. only goes 8th quick, but Andrew right now did go purple in Sector 1, coming out of the tunnel turn now. Bringing all the smoke coming to turn 3. This is going to be a very solid lap as he went purple in Sector 1. Lets it run coming off of 3. All the Hurspers. Teft only 4th quick. Wow. Okay, that's surprising. Looks like he gave a lot up in turn 3. Let's go back to Alex here as he's coming through 3 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air for the 43. Does not improve. Wow. Okay, that's kind of surprising there. As we go back to Andrew coming out of the tunnel turn. Good head of steam here. Currently sitting 4th, looking to improve. And goes up to 2nd quick. 54.37. Not too shabby of a lap for your points leader. Just waiting on Ty Gooden to present for qualifying. That's the only car we are currently waiting on. As Alex continues to turn some practice laps here. Let's go back and we'll take a look there as he's practicing pit road entry. Probably not a bad idea, considering that we are a relatively short field, about 10 cars here. And I don't think we're going to be seeing too many cautions truly per incident. Or at least not multiple car incidents, let's put it that way. So that's the good news. Still waiting on Gooden to post a time here. He is not even presented, and there is not enough time to actually get a lap in, as we're looking at 54-second laps, right around 54 and a half. So with less than that left, Gooden going to start shotgun in this 10-car field here tonight. 80 laps the scheduled distance, not too shabby of a race for a Thursday night. Thank you all so much for making this part of your Thursday evening. And I want to thank everybody for reaching out after the incident that I had last week and I was in the hospital. I do thank you all for the warm well wishes through Discord or Facebook. Thank you all. I'm doing much better. Thank you. But now we got to get right down to business as we're getting ready to end qualifying and start that grid. So there goes qualifying. And here comes tonight's starting grid. As there we see Ed DeBoer setting quick time, 34.323, 56 thousandths over Andrew Teff. That is row number 1. Row 2 is going to see Paul Shaw from Mid-Pack Motorsports in the 25. Strong running Toyota, the only Toyota in the field tonight. Going to start inside row 2 next to Corey Crowell out of Ohio. And we do want to mention again that Shaw is your hometown hero. But Dennis Kane, Jared Larder, that's row number 3. Spencer Henneman, Kirby Wainscott, that's row 4. And then starting shotgun on the field, Alex Teff, who was a last-minute add-on. And if he decides to grid, Ty Gooden is going to be our 10th and final starter here tonight out of the Great White North. 2 members of the Canadian contingent here tonight. It looks like Gooden going to have to pit start it. As here we go, cars starting to roll right now behind this official Iracing pace car. And let us know in the live chat what you think that thing is. I mean, it kind of has a little bit of a Tesla look, kind of a little bit of a, if you asked a 12-year-old to draw an old Chevy SS kind of feel to it, I guess. I mean, heck, whoever is building that thing, I'd be willing to give one a test drive. As the field working its way down the Long Pond straightaway, only 7 cars out on track. Gooden apparently going to go scratch in this one. So 9 cars here scheduled to go 80 laps coming through turn 2, that tricky tunnel turn. There are bumps there. Now, they don't quite affect these independent rear suspensions on these current Cup cars. They have the previous generations. Still not something you want to do too wide too often. As the field coming into turn number 3, the pace car starts to pick up a little bit of pace to put some distance between DeBoer and itself. Geico restart zone in full effect here tonight. The only thing left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the Yingling and the whoopie pies. It's time to get it on in Pennsylvania. Race fans, it's showtime! Green flag comes out. DeBoer jumps on the loud pedal. Shaw goes with him. As here they come thundering down that long front straightaway here in Pennsylvania, hauling it into turn number 1, north of 150 miles an hour. Everybody showing some pretty good smoke under the hood right now. I love this camber view. Into the tunnel turn. Still, everybody getting single filed out pretty quickly. Nobody wanting to really test fate yet. DeBoer by a couple car lengths over Shaw right now. As there is DeBoer out of Cadillac, Michigan. Paul Shaw, your hometown hero, located right here in Pennsylvania. Making a bid for the lead. Shaw showing good smoke early. 25 to the point. The only Toyota in the field currently shows the way as they haul it down the Long Pond straightaway side by side. Shaw pinches down on DeBoer. DeBoer is going to have to back out of it. Gets right back in line. And here we go. Shaw, DeBoer, Teft, Henneman. Larder, your top 5. Crowell, Kane, Wayne Scott, and Teft. Rounding out the 9 starters in this field is here comes Henneman to the inside of Teft for third. And Hellman 77. And I take that back. We do have two Yodas here tonight. Shaw currently your highest running one, leading the race. So lap led for Shaw. Henneman still working on Teft. They are still door to door. And Shaw just that quick lap of the race so far, 54.64. Finally, the ticker decides it wants to work. There is Shaw. And if I'm not mistaken, Wind Creek is here in the Pocono Mountains. Let me double check that factoid for you folks. It is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, actually. So, just up the road from Long Pond in Bethlehem. And if you ever get a chance to drive through Bethlehem on the highway there, and you look up on top of one of the hills just outside of downtown, they have a gorgeous lit, now mind you, solar powered lighting here on this, so that stores the batteries during the day, etc. But a lit artificial North Star, I guess is basically the way you could describe it. And it just shines down on the town. I mean, it's the coolest thing ever the first time you see it. As right now we are watching this battle for the lead, and Shaw and DeBoer just going after each other. Already with 4 laps in the book. Somebody just flew the corner. I believe that was a 21 a Crowell. As he's now working the inside of Henneman. Little Toyota and Ford action here for 5th spot. Henneman has 4th. Crowell wants it. Larder sitting right there. And then you got about a 3-second gap back to the 43 of Alex Teff. Dennis Kane, Kirby Wainscott back there as well. But right now, it is all Paul Shaw at the front of this thing. Everybody just biding their time right now, just trying to see what they've got, trying to stay within striking distance of the front, so you can throw a blanket over the top 6 right now. As DeBoer not really applying a lot of pressure, but just making Shaw know that he's still there. Shaw hugging the mustard strike, coming through 3. The only one to really go that low. Sideways off of 3 for Shaw. That's going to let DeBoer and Teff both get by him. And there goes Henneman as well. Side by side with Crowell now into turn 1. Crowell with the advantage. Oh, man. Shaw was running dangerously low through 3, and it just... He's the only one that was going that low as well, as now DeBoer and Teff door-to-door down the long pond straightaway. Full-on drag race into the tunnel turn. DeBoer with the advantage. Now Teff throws it in. Man, side by side is not where I would want to be. Teff's got to close the door quick because Henneman is on a charge right now. Your top 3 just all over each other. And for that matter, throw Corey Crowell into the mix as well, as he has given Henneman all the pressure he can handle. It looked like Shaw may have caught the wall coming out of 3. Everybody's starting to calm down a little bit after that jumbling and shaking and moving and rocking. Ed DeBoer, Andrew Teff, Corey Crowell, Spencer Henneman, Paul Shaw, your top 5. Jarrett Larder right back there with them. Throw a blanket over your top 6 as they got 4.5 seconds to the good over the rest of the pack, led by Alex Teff, who is back there in 7th. There is Teff, Kane, and Wainscott, your final 3 cars here of the 9-car field. So, you know, these guys are pretty much in the same category that I would consider myself in, of I really don't like this track, I really don't want to be here, I'm just trying to survive Pocono. Or as some drivers call it, Pocono! Just kidding, if you're from Pocono Speedway, I am kidding. I've never had good luck here, but hey. Funny story, the first Cup race I got to, I was honored to be a crew member of, was here at Pocono back in the early 2000s. And Weber Grills used to have a hospitality area that the teams could get something to eat in between, you know, thrashing away on cars trying to get them faster. And I'm standing in a line and I realize this is Benny Parsons in front of me. And I come up maybe to his shoulder. Like, I'm almost eye to eye with this man's elbow. And I'm 5'9". Get back to that story real quick. As Teff making a bid for the lead, throws it to the inside, coming through turn 1. DeBoer battles back, though, with a good head of steam. He's got Corey Crowell right there, and Teff is going to have to be careful because, well, it looks like Crowell is going to possibly let him in if need be, but now they're working together, the 2 Fords getting hooked up. course, Crowell now playing both halves against the middle as DeBoer continues to show the way. Side by side for the lead. DeBoer on the top shelf where Mama likes to hide the cookies. Andrew Taft on the low side where we keep the cereal. Which would you rather eat? Cookies or cereal? Screw that, I want Cookie Crisp. The best of both worlds. The little chocolate chip cookies for breakfast. Oh, hell yes, as we're going 3 wide now as Crowell throws it up through the gut. Taft wanted none of that, backed out of it, let Crowell get by. Taft can slide into third. Crisis averted. Getting back to the story, I'm standing behind Benny Parsons in line. ARC qualifying is going on. And Aaron Crocker is out there. We know it's her because they announced it. And you could hear it going into the tunnel turn. You hear screech, thud. And, I mean, you could feel the hit. And Benny turns around, looks down at me, and goes, that was a hard hit. Yes, sir, it was. I hope she's okay. But the back of my mind, I'm thinking, dude, you are the John Madden of NASCAR. Gentle giant, awesome dude, shook my hand. You know, I said, Mr. Parsons, longtime fan. You know, I don't want to bother you, but it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person, sir. And he said, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Said our goodbyes, and I went back to eating my food. But, you know, just the fact that he stated the obvious, and I love the man for it. So, that's my Pocono story. And tonight's trivia question, for those of you who are longtime viewers, you're probably getting sick of this question by now. This Sarah, yes, absolutely. Sarah's smile making me giggle here with the Cookie Monster emoji. Absolutely, let's have cookies for breakfast. But tonight's trivia question, as we always do here at Pocono, oh, Taft sideways. No, that was Crowell. I'm sorry. Crowell was completely sideways off of one. But tonight's trivia question, when this track was built, each corner was modeled after a premier IndyCar track at the time. What 3 tracks, and for the bonus points, which order are those tracks in? And I'll give you a hint, one of them is no longer a track. It's now a Walmart parking lot. Still some pretty tight racing up here in the front. Taft continuing to pester DeBoer. DeBoer continues to show the way as we've got 13 in the books of 80. Crowell and Shaw now going after each other. Shaw on the bottom side. Going to have to be careful because here comes Henneman in the other Toyota. Looks like Shaw might be just trying to get some fresh air to the radiator of that Camry. But now here comes Henneman putting Shaw back to 6th. And how about Jarrett Larder in the deuce? That Amp Energy Chevy Camaro currently running in 3rd. But your top 2 of DeBoer and Taft have already carved out a 2.5 seconds of the rest of the field. There are your 2 leaders. It's DeBoer and Taft. You see, DeBoer has just been a tick quicker. Or no, I'm sorry. He's been a tick slower the last couple of laps here. The question is, are these 2 guys going too hard too soon? That yet to be seen. Taft looks to the inside going into 3. Thinks better of it as DeBoer has it well spotted. Keeps it wound up on the top shelf there. DeBoer going to win the drag race. Taft, though, right on his back bumper. That was your 2 fastest cars the last time by. 7-3 for Teft. 54.77 for DeBoer. Let's get back here to Larder and there we go. Larder and Henneman for fourth. And I take that back. Spencer Henneman was the fastest car on that last lap with a 54.57. Not so much this time. 17 laps in, the tires are starting to go away. Oh, Toyota on Toyota rubbing action. They were leaning on each other pretty hardcore there. That was Henneman and Shaw. The two Toyota stablemates, you'd think they'd be working together instead of against each other. But I guess, hey, they've got the only team rule to try not to kill each other, and if you do, make sure it's a Sports Center highlight. Everybody getting a little bit of separation now. We got to go all the way back here to the battle for 7th between Teft and Kane. That is your closest battle on track right there, by the way, is they've got 3.5 seconds over Kirby Wainscott. That 10 is not having a good time of it right now. And Kirby, I feel your pain, bud. There is the Castrol GTX number 10 of Wainscott out of Sparta, Kentucky. There is Kane out of Detroit. Alex Shaw representing Ohio, Hope Valley to be exact. Here's Paul Shaw, your hometown hero, just up the road from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Spencer Henneman out of DeWitt, Michigan, not to be confused with DeWitt, New York. Garrett Larder out of Centerville, Ontario, Canada. And DeBoer's in the pits. Well then, 19 laps. So he's going to try to break this race up into quarters. That gives the lead of the race over to Alex Teft. Again, out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. There's Corey Crowell right behind him, No Town Gibbon. And again, Larder out of Centerville, Ontario. But, yeah, absolutely here tonight. And DeBoer, 4 in fuel for him. And this is one of the few tracks we go to where you can pit for 4 in fuel under green flag conditions and still not go a lap down. It's going to be close as Crowell and Larder and Shaw and Henneman all go pit side. Teft stays out one more lap. Unfortunately, there is DeBoer coming through 2. There is Teft coming out of 1. So 52 seconds from cone to cone for DeBoer. Looks like everybody else taking 4 in fuel as well. Shaw, Crowell, Larder, Henneman, Wainscott, Teft, all on pit road. Crowell and Larder down and away. Shaw down and away. Henneman down and away. Teft now down and away. Alex Teft in the 43, that is. And Kirby Wainscott brings it pit side, and here comes Andrew. The only one left to come down pit road is Dennis Kane. He's coming through 3 right now, and he is coming pit side quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now, the big question is, did anybody get popped for speeding? So far, so good. Corey Crowell, currently your effective race leader. It's Teft hitting his box just now as they're coming into turn number 3 with a good head of steam. Right side's on for Taft, coming around, doing the lefts. Down and away in 15's flat. And Taft just now coming back out on track. Crowell flashes by, so does DeBoer. And here comes Larder for third. Oh, that definitely shook the field up a little bit. Alex Taft, best cone-to-cone time. As we take a look here. There you go. DeBoer quickest in the box, but quickest down pit lane, 50.70. There you go. Is going to be Andrew Teft in the 43 there, back in 7th place currently. Going back up to the front, Crowell with a little bit of breathing room. DeBoer starting to hound him a little bit. Because Larder and Teft have backed out of it a little too much, if you ask me. They're about 1.25 seconds of drift over your front two. As the sun's starting to rear its head right now, let's take a quick check of the weather conditions. The wind's still holding steady. Ambient air temperature holding steady. Track temperature holding pretty steady as well. It has dropped about 5 degrees since we started this piece. We're now under triple digits. That's the good news. The bad news is, if these guys didn't make adjustments under that pit stop, they're going to be in trouble as this track continues to cool off, because we're a little bit about 2:15 in the afternoon here in sim time. And let's take a look at what type of speeds these guys are able to hit here. As a matter of fact, we're going to go back to Andrew Taft, because Larder right now is punching the hole in the air. I mean, they're still coming through turn 3 at about 145 miles an hour. That's cooking right there. And then you're going to see Shaw still having trouble coming off of 4 or 3. Why did I say 4 at Pocono? I'm so used to saying 4. I'm sorry, folks. I'm an idiot. 191, 192 before jumping on the binders there. But, yeah, Shaw was just all sorts of sideways coming off of turn 3 there. That Camry is probably looser than he really wants it to be, so he doesn't need to make any adjustments as this track continues to cool off. The track's probably going to come right into his wheelhouse the more it cools off. It's now Andrew Taft in that Castrol Edge number 6. Looks to the inside of Larder going into 3. Side by side goes Taft back up into a podium spot. Larder now trying to reel him in. New fast lap of the race belongs to that man, Corey Crowell. As we're going to take a look at the time. Wow, 54.14 with a 3. That's moving, folks. And he's your leader. No drafting help. Not too shabby, sir. You know, let's go on board with your points leader right now. We are now going on board, excuse me. As soon as I can find, there it is. As Tough set, quick lap of the race with a 54.13 now. Looks like he's getting a little bit of the blinkies as DeBoer makes a bid for the lead with a 54.16. Andrew Teff, though, good grief, Andrew, leaves him on the table for the rest of the kids. First one to go sub 54 here tonight, 53.7, or 53.97, I should say. Wow. So now we're on board with your race leader, Ed DeBoer, as he's still side by side with Crowell. Connection issues continue for Teff right now. Teff now makes a bid for second place. DeBoer on the top shelf. Teff on the low side. DeBoer able to keep it wound up. Teff is going to have to just bomb it. That's the only way he's getting by DeBoer right now anyways. It's Corey Crowell looking in his rearview mirror going, yep, go ahead, guys. Duke it out. I'm just going to walk away. So while we do have green flag pit stops now in the books, 28 laps get ready to be put in the books, we are going to step away, pay a couple bills. Don't worry, we're going side by side, so you won't miss a damn thing.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back in Long Pond, Pennsylvania for round number 6 of the Racers Elite Cup Series. As we are just checking in now, as Teft has gotten by Crowell. Teft has gotten by DeBoer. Crowell continues to show the way in the 21. 2 Ford Mustangs, 2 Chevys, 2 Fords, a Chevy, 2 more Fords, and that's the 9 cars. You got Corey Crowell, Andrew Taft, Ed DeVore, Jarrett Larder, Paul Shaw, Spencer Henneman, Alex Taft, Dennis Kane, and Kirby Wainscott as your 9 people that took the green flag. All 9 of them still on the lead lap, although Kirby Wainscott is back there a little bit. Just a little bit off pace. It's got to be a little unnerving if you're Ed DeVore as Andrew Taft continues to suffer through a little bit of the blinkies. You know what? Let's take a quick look and see just how bad that connection is on the 6. That doesn't look too bad. Low ping, high quality, not too shabby. We're taking a look at DeVore right now. Shaw is just fallen away after leading a handful of laps in the opening salvo of this race. Their hometown hero currently runs in 5th, and he's got about a second and a half to try to make up on the deuce of Larder. Larder just barely within drafting range of DeVore. Crowell and Taft starting to heat things up here as Taft now has reeled in the 21. Closest battle on track right now is this one for the lead. Now Crowell sits +3 as he started in 4th. Taft back even with the board as he started outside row 1.
I'm Carr. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back. Excuse me. And we are back at Pocono as DeVore brings it pit side, hands the race over to Taft Crowell, Larder, Shaw, and Henneman now your top 5. And DeBoer is short pitted every time so far. Not sure if I agree with that tactic. I mean, I understand he's trying to get the undercut, but it's not working the way he really wants it to, as he takes 2. Looks like DeBoer was struggling with a tight condition. He only took 2 rights on that last pit stop. Here comes Crowell into pit. Larder stays out. Shaw comes in. And Andrew Teft in the 6 continues to have blinkies. So far, everybody has been clean through 2. Those that have already come down, that is. I don't believe anybody has been popped yet for speeding. Although there's still time. Give it a few more laps. As we are checking out second place, the Amped Energy Deuce of Jarrett Larder from Ontario, Canada, as he looks like he's coming pit side this time. Yes, he is. And once again, nobody gets popped. And DeBoer, quickest cone to cone. Of course, he only took 2 that time, so looks like he's trying to gain something here on pit strategies. Alex Teft brings the 43 down as well. Andrew stays out. Kane stays out in the 4. It's the highest Dennis has been all night. He's currently up to second, although he's about 15 and a quarter seconds off the leader. As we are coming in on the halfway mark, is Teft coming into 3 now. Sorry, coming out of 2, heading to 3. And it looks like he might be coming in this time. Yes. We are at the halfway mark. Kirby Wainscott also bringing it down pit side. And unfortunately, this is going to put Kirby a lap down. As there goes Dennis Kane onto pit road. Now DeBoer is your effective race lead. There he is coming out of 2. He's on the same lap as Teft and Kane. And he's got about 4 seconds over Jarrett Larder in the 2. Now Larder and company all took 4. DeBoer, the only one so far to gamble on 2 tires. How well is this going to work for him, especially in the later laps? As there are Larder, Crowell, and Shaw all running stem to stern. Tapped out of pit road. Ooh, a little bit of an elongated stop there for Teft. 17 seconds in his box. Yikes. And that is an angry hornet's nest right now for second place. Throw a blanket over second through 5th right now. Spencer Henneman, who's in 6th, is about 5.5 seconds off of this battle. So here comes Crowell on Larder. Little Ford on Chevy action for you here towards the front. And DeBoer's Chevy leads. Larder's Chevy sits in second. Crowell was trying to make something happen on his own, as he's got the Ford of Teft and the Toyota of Shaw right behind him. Get skinny Dennis Kane. Kane got popped for speeding on. Oh, it's a tragedy. They held him an extra 40 seconds in his box. Well, shoot. Crowell getting a little antsy coming out of the tunnel turn. Looks like he hit that bump wrong, but it's going to give him a good run on Larder. Crowell up to second, Larder back to third, and here comes Teft working on the deuce right now. These guys are going all over each other. Currently, only Dennis Kane in the 4 sits 1 lap down. Everybody else on the lead lap. Ed DeBoer, Cody Crowell, Andrew Taft, Jarrett Larder, and Paul Shaw, all right there. Throw a blanket over those 4. Spencer Henneman, about 4 3/4 seconds back from this battle. Alex Taft is another 10 seconds off at Spencer. And then Kirby Wainscott is in danger of going a lap down. He's another 32 seconds behind Kirby. Or, sorry, behind Alex, I mean. Let's go on board with DeBoer. And yes, that is Kirby Wainscott right in front of your race leader. DeBoer continues to hold about a 4-second gap over everybody else. Again, tonight's trivia question, we're still waiting for an answer on this. I see quite a few of you in the live chat. For those of you just joining us, tonight's trivia question, when this track was built in the late 60s, and as a matter of fact, let me double check that little factoid when this track was built. Yes, it broke ground in 1968. Now, when they originally designed this track, they designed each corner of this track based on, and at the time, current premier IndyCar facility. 3 different facilities to be exact. I'll give you one of them. It's the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What are the other 2? And for the bonus points, for you on the line, which corner is which track? And the other hint I can give you is one of the tracks is no longer even a racetrack. It's now a Walmart parking lot. Yuppie prick scumbag assholes. It's too much noise coming from the racetrack. Then don't build your house next to it. But I'd like the land. Then don't complain about the racing. The track's been there and it brings more money into the area than you do, you prick. Build a house next to a racetrack and then bitch about the noise. Screw you. Some people have more money than friggin' brains. Do I sound mad, angry, too much? I apologize if I offended anybody. But don't build a house next to a goddamn racetrack if you don't like racing. They tried that crap in Oswego, and unbeknownst to the yuppie prick scumbag assholes that had their, $250,000 homes built less than a quarter mile from the track, that were trying to complain, well, we just built our house and now we can't sleep on Saturday nights. The track's been there since the 1950s. It's what Oswego, New York is most known for. Oswego State and the Steel Palace. And unbeknownst to those people that were trying to petition the city to put a noise ordinance or anything on the track owner and 8 drivers at the speedway were on the city council at the time. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. You knew the track was there when you built your house. You're stupid. Deal with it. I mean, hell, if I lived within a quarter mile of a racetrack again, I would be at that track again every single time it was open. Not caring what was running that night. As long as race cars were on a racetrack, I'm there. I love me some short track racing at its finest. And if you ever get a chance to go to Oswego, New York, you gotta swing by Rudy's Lakeside and get the Blue Plate Special. Some of the best fried seafood you will find in the country. And if you like Texas hots, let me explain a Texas hot to you. It's a Hoffman hot dog, for starters. It's got to be a Hoffman, or else it doesn't count. And then they put it. I hesitate to say it's a chili sauce, but that's the best way I can describe it. It's a chili sauce without beans. It's just a diced meat and spice, kind of like runny taco meat is the best way I can really describe it there. And they put that on the dog, a little bit of chopped white onion, and a little bit of Hoffman mustard. And again, it's a brown mustard, kind of fancied up a little bit. Now, mind you, I'm allergic to mustard, so I put ketchup on mine, but don't hold that against me. But yeah, you down a couple of those, some good fries that are dyed in, or fried in peanut oil, and a nice cold Coca-Cola can or adult libation of your choice. And then you go about 100 yards down the road to the ice cream stand and get yourself a nice hot fudge sundae to close things out. There's Andrew Teft, your new race leader. Excuse me. 2 tires worked for a while, but now DeBoer, those left sides are screaming for mercy right now. And DeBoer's about 10 laps away from when he's going to need to come pit side one more time. We're looking with a 50% fuel fill. We're only looking at about 20 laps on a tank and go fast. So Teft, Crowell, DeBoer, and Larder right there, as well as Larder on the 4 freshies. I'm putting a move on DeBoer now. That's Larder on the low side, DeBoer on the top shelf. A little Chevy on Chevy action there for 3rd place. Drag race down the long pond straightaway, side by side, going into the tunnel turn. DeBoer's got to be careful. He's on that outside where the bump is. And that thing will spitch into the wall if you're not careful. And checking in with our hometown hero, he's right back there, only about a second and a half off this battle. And that's not him, that's him. Here is your hometown hero, Paul Shaw. He's currently running in 5th. He's got the lap car of Dennis Kane right behind him, so no pressure. Henneman brings it pit side. Henneman short pitting. Okay, not sure what's going on with Henneman. Interesting. Getting back up here. Teft just walking away right now. The man out of Rhode Island, your points leader coming into tonight in that 6. Currently shows the way as Larder and DeBoer still going. Sorry, now it's Larder and Crowell going after each other. Larder has really turned the wick up since that first round of green flag pit stops. I mean, he was back there deep in the field, like 8th and 9th. Now, he's found something. Larder has found something, and I don't know what, but I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the Amped Energy number 2. The Deuce is on a charge right now. As a matter of fact, let's go on board with him. I believe we've got... Do we have the gyro? Yes, we do. Hey, how about that? And you hear him bringing that V8 for all its... And we are back at Long Pond, Pennsylvania, and you were watching Jared Larder make a move on Corey Crowell. Crowell is slipping back quick, fast, and in a hurry. DeBoer and Crowell both coming pit side almost simultaneously. Paul Shaw up to third. There you see him. Paul Shaw's right back there. Only about 2 seconds off of Larder. Larder about 2 seconds of drift off of Andrew Teft as well. There's Teft at the bottom left of your screen. There's Larder in the middle of your screen. There's Shaw at the top right. So everybody's still within striking distance. I guarantee you Ed DeBoer is not going to try a two-tire stop again. And this should, air quote, should be the money stop. But while we were on board with Larder, you could see he was just wringing that V8's neck for all it's worth. Just winding the thing up till it screamed for mercy and then grabbed another gear. And that's exactly why he has been one of the fastest cars on track over the last couple of laps. Shaw now goes pit side for what should be his money stop. 58 laps in the books here tonight, closing in very quickly on 20 to go. Teft, Larder, Shaw, Teft, DeBoer, Crowell, your 6 cars that are currently on the lead lap. Dennis Kane, Kirby Wainscott, Spencer Henneman, all on pit road. And it looks like Henneman may have had to fix some damage. No, he just got popped for speeding on, that's all. They held him an extra 40 seconds in his box. That's no bueno. Getting back to the lead right now, though. Tef continuing to show the way, and he's just widening that gap back to everybody else. Though he still has to come down for his money stop, as we are currently 21 to go here, working lap 60 of 80. Tef now leads by 26 seconds. As Larder is in the pits for his money stop. Alex Tef still out on track. He still needs to come down for his money stop. As your effective race lead is going to be that man, Ed DeBoer. That can't be right. That can't possibly be right. DeBoer took 2 again. That cannot possibly be the case. Those left side tires have got to be almost on the cords right now. Good grief. Andrew Teft brings it pit side. This is the money stop for the 6. So far, so good. All he's got to do is not step on his own junk, trying to get that thing into the pit box. Hopefully he didn't get popped for speeding on. Both Teft brothers on pit road now. Here comes DeBoer. Teft coming out of pit road. DeBoer already up to speed. Teft went 4 in fuel and maintains the lead. I'm impressed. Teft continues to show the way, surprisingly. 4 in fuel. He stays in front of Ed DeBoer. Now, for what it's worth, DeBoer has not been sub 54 seconds all pit stop or all fuel run long so far. Now, Teft, by waiting a little bit longer, as we're now 19 to go, Teft can go after it. As a matter of fact, we're looking at about a 10-mile-an-hour difference between the two right now as far as speeds go. Teft continues to show the way and starts to get the blinkies again. That's a little bit sketchy, especially with 18 laps to go. We've got 60 in the books. DeBoer. And you can see it. Crowell's starting to reel him in. Shaw, about 2 3/4 seconds off of this battle, currently sits in 4th. And he's got his hands full of the 2 of Jarrett Larder. Larder has been on a tear. Now, the only one popped for speeding, and it was back on lap 52 that he did it with Spencer Henneman. That put him right at the tail end of the lead lap now. And I think Henneman's going to have to come down for a splash and go before this race is out. Dennis Kane and Kirby Wainscott both sitting a lap down in 8th and 9th. Ty Gooden did not start tonight. But this battle right now for 4th, hot and heavy, as Larder just trying to figure out what he's got to do to get that car home in one piece. So far, Andrew Teft has been getting the best gas mileage out of anybody tonight. As he's the only one that's been able to get 20 and 21 laps out of a tank of Go Fast. As we take a look at the stint links here, 20, 20, 19. He short pitted that one, but he was able to get it with 20 to go. And we know we can get 21 out of a tank to go fast. That's the question is, does he have enough to get to the end here? Let's see if he's doing anything hinky as we're going to go on board with your race leader and points leader. Here we go. And he's still shifting. Huh. Keep your eye on that RPM gauge. It's right there on the dash. You can see him. 76, 77, 78. He's not really ringing it out in fourth gear either. He's just trying to get a little bit of drive off the corner, then pops it into fifth to drive through. So he's saving a little bit over what everybody else is doing. I think everybody else right now is really in fuel conservation mode, as only Alex Taft is the only one that we know can definitely make it without an issue. I think it's pretty safe to assume that both the Taft boys are running pretty similar setups here tonight. And when you see that thing flash to 9,000, that's just him grabbing a gear and not lifting. You can do no lift shifts here, but I wouldn't want to do it too often. Getting back here to the battle for third and fourth. Shaw has it. Larder wants it. Andrew Teff, Corey Crowell, Paul Shaw, Jarrett Larder. Your top four right now is they've got about a 4-second lead over Ed DeBoer. And that two-tire stop not really working for DeBoer. 14 laps to go. We're still watching this battle for third, as it is your closest battle on track. That is your hometown hero, Paul Shaw, just up the road in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. "13 laps to go. Andrew Taft continues to show the way. The pride of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. And Crowell's in pit. 12 laps to go. Corey Crowell is on pit road. Oh, he couldn't make it on fuel. What's that mean for DeBoer? Because he pit 3 laps before Crowell did. Oh, wow. 12 laps to go. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to make this work. Oh, no. It's all gone sideways. Well, that moves Paul Shaw up into second, Larder into third. DeBoer currently running in fourth, and I am very concerned about his fuel mileage, as we are 11 laps to go in this one. And DeBoer was the first one to go down pit road from your leaders. And from the looks of it, DeBoer is about... Oh, he's clutching it. He's absolutely clutching it. He's trying to save. Can he save enough to get 10 laps more out of that tank? Oh my, let's go on board, as we do have a cockpit view. Watch the tack. And he's staying in fifth gear. That thing goes right back down to idle. Apologize to the clutch plates after the race. Do what you can to get that thing home. Wow. Is anybody else doing that? Let's go on board with Larder. Nope, he's still going after it. Letting that thing eat. And I dare say Shaw's doing the same thing. Yep, just wringing it out in fourth gear. We're on board with Shaw in second place, looking back at Larder in third. Neither one of these guys are clutching, I can promise you that. Side by side for second. Larder throws it into one. Still waiting on an answer for tonight's trivia question. What three major IndyCar race courses at the time that this facility was built were the three corners modeled after? I already gave you one of the corners, and I'm not saying which one, but one of the corners is modeled after Indy. What are the other two, and in which order? And Sarah, smile. You got to be smiling right now, as there is Andrew Taft currently showing the way. Paul Shaw continues to slug it out with Larder. I'll tell you right now, that Canadian's found something here tonight in that Chevy. We got a Ford, a Chevy, and a Toyota. 1, 2, 3. But there goes Shaw. Larder backed out of it. Oh no. Has Larder gone into fuel conservation mode? Survey says probably not. Just had a moment going into turn 2. That bump in the tunnel turn will catch you every time. Sarah, what Todd is talking about is when I said that I didn't agree with Ed DeVore's decision to take just right sides. This track really doesn't punish the tires as much as other places would, and it has to do a lot with the way that these tires are constructed for this car. A lot of drivers have referred to them as hockey pucks. As Shaw just went down pit side. 5 to go. We are on the handshake lap, and Shaw just gave up second place to Larder going down pit side, probably for a splash and go here. But apparently this track doesn't punish the left sides as much as other places would, so you don't really have to put 4 tires on, and that's exactly what Shaw just did. Pumped enough gas into it to get it to the finish, just limped that thing home. 5 to go, coming to 4 to go. 75 laps now in the books. Teft continues to show the way. Larder in second is 14 and a half seconds behind. And I dare say he's got to be clutching. Not quite as much as DeBoer is. But Shaw is going to have to get after it. He's currently running top 5 right now, and he's got a little bit of gap with Corey Crowell. And what could have been for Corey had he got a little bit better fuel mileage tonight. And yes, Teft is clutching. Oh, we're going into overtime. Spencer Henneman, what happened? Let's go back and take a look. There's Henneman, and there's Alex Teft in front of him. Now, that is not for position. And that is considered the racing surface still, even though it was well off the track. And with that, we're going into overtime, folks. Awesome sauce. Well, what do you do here? I mean, if you're Alex Teft, you've had speed. Jarrett Larder has had speed. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that track temperature has gone back up. As the sun has peeked through the clouds here in Pocono, Pennsylvania. Lovely long pond, if you will. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of stuff to do here in the Pocono Mountain region of Pennsylvania. It's not just racing here. In the wintertime, there are ski resorts all over the place, ice fishing. There's just all sorts of activities to do with the family. So Shaw's going to stay out. Teft, Larder, DeBoer, Teft, and Crowell all coming down pit side. Kane and Wayne Scott staying out to get back on the lead lap. But, there's stuff to do for the family. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of historic sites in this area, too. So, Teft just blew through his pit box. That's no bueno. Looks like everybody going forward in fuel here. Larder down and away. Oh, baby, this is going to get fun. We now have the 4 fastest cars all night are going to start 1, 2, 3, 4. Paul Shaw pit just before the caution. He's able to stay out. He's got enough fuel to get to the end as we are going into overtime. Larder, Teft, and DeBoer all just took 4 in fuel. I think Shaw's a sitting duck, unfortunately. But getting back to what I was talking about with Pocono, there's a ton of stuff to do. I mean, there's historic sites. The Amish crafts in this area are absolutely unreal. I mean, just some of the best craftsmanship of quilts, woodworking, second to none. Some of the highest quality woodworking pieces you're ever going to see anywhere in the world come right out of this area of Pennsylvania. And there are so many historic sites from, the Civil War, from the Independence. Yeah, I mean, you got Independence Hall down in Philadelphia. What more do you have to say about that? You got Gettysburg is here. Just there's so much to do in this area that it's not just about racing. If you're going to come to Pocono for the race, you need to make it at least a week-long trip and spend time with the family, going around visiting the historic sites, and take the wife to some uh, craft stores and let her see what's available out there and buy her something nice, guys. I know my mom and dad came here a couple times, just because, and they both just raved about the just all the craftsmanship that went into a lot of the Amish store items. Some of the best jams, jellies, and cakes you're going to find. And if you are in the area, you need to go to Reading, Pennsylvania, and go to the Shady Maple. And I kid you not, it's a quarter mile of food. From end to end of the buffet bar, it's a quarter mile, and it's all just different items. And they have 4 different meat carving stations. One's cooking sausage, one has roast, one has ham, roast beef, one has ham, and one has cooked to order steaks. You need to go to the Shady Maple. I swear by it. And hopefully we'll see if Paul wants to go to the Shady Maple as well. As we get ready to turn these guys loose. Green, white checker finish here. Pace car is in. Shaw has the button. He holds him down, and he may have spun the tires as Larder's going to stick with him. Here comes Tef to the inside. Oh, baby, hang on to her. 3 wide for first. Tef just sends it. Sideways for the 6. Here comes Larder around the outside. Oh, we've got problems. DeBoer into the wall. We stay green, though. Andrew Teft and DeBoer. Oh, we're under caution. Alex Teft just got turned. Let's take a look at this one again. And you're going to see, there goes Andrew. He got sideways. Shaw leans on him. He gets up into DeBoer. The 4 gets him, and the 4 just finishes off the 43. And everybody else taking evasive action. And I can't blame Dennis Kane because he really didn't have a choice in that one. As a matter of fact, let's go on board with Kane. This is what Kane saw. There you see the 6 get loose. Shaw doors him. He comes down. He was trying to avoid it, but he already got hit once. He got hit by both of the Tefs. And let's see if we can see any damage on the 4. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a dink in the front end. Not the healthiest thing to be doing here late in the race. So guess what? We get to rack him, stack him, and try that again. And we are still waiting for Ted Ackerman. I think you're probably right there. His controller probably did disconnect. But tonight's trivia question, the answers. And the 3 IndyCar tracks that this track was modeled after. Turn 1 was modeled after Flemington, New Jersey. Turn 2 was modeled after Indy, and Turn 3 was modeled after the Milwaukee Mile. Flemington is now a Walmart parking lot. And it was one of the most interesting tracks on the circuit at the time. As a matter of fact, if you go look that up on Wikipedia or Google, and you look at the track, it's a very strangely designed track. It's egg shaped, but it's very, I don't even know how to describe it here. Just Google Flemington Raceway, and you'll see what the old track used to look like. Not the dirt track. It's this. You'll see it. It's the Wikipedia page has the old dirt track there. But if you see it, when you go to Google Images, you'll see RaceNet has the picture of the track at the time, and it's wild. Now there was a short dirt track inside of it, but Turn 1 is modeled after Turn 1 at Flemington. And, I mean, just one of the wildest tracks ever, and IndyCars used to run there. And unfortunately, it's permanently closed. Matter of fact, the last couple of races that ran there, 95, 96, 97, and 98, they were all Craftsman Truck Series races. Ron Hornaday Jr. won 2. Terry Cook won the last race there. Mike Skinner won the 96 race. But, yeah, that's the history of Flemington in one little go. But right now, Jared Larder, he's got a shot at this one. Lights are out on the pace car, and Paul Shaw is on pit road. He's going to really have to hustle this thing. So Shaw is going to restart in 7th, as Wayne Scott just got back on the lead lap in the 10. The Larder going to lead us to green here, and the Canadian has been bad fast all night. But don't count out Ed DeBoer. Don't count out Corey Crowell, as he's been fast. Andrew Teff doesn't look like he's got too much damage after that pinball incident back there. Three laps to go. Green, white, checker finish. They have to make it back for the leader to take the white flag and have crossed the start-finish line for us to race back to checkers. Otherwise, we're going to rack it, stack it, and try it for a third time. And after the third attempt starts, if we don't get back to the white flag to finish this thing, field frozen, race over. Pace car is in. Larder has the button. DeBoer sits in second. Larder jumps on the loud pedal and gets a good getaway so far. Crowell and DeBoer going door to door. Here we go. Battle for second. Hot and heavy. Side by side into turn number 1. The Ford on the low side. The Chevy on the top shelf. Who you riding with, folks? Is Andrew and Alex Teff running door to door for 4th. And unfortunately, Wayne Scott and Shaw did not get to pit. Shaw got popped for speeding off. Oh, good gracious. Oh, hang on to her at the bore. Good grief. That was close. Coming out of turn number 3, Larder, your race leader. He can see the white flag in the air. 100 yards to go. We are racing back to checkers. Jared Larder, Corey Crowell, Andrew Teft, 1, 2, 3 right now is Teft and Crowell going after each other like two kids in the backseat of a minivan on summer break. Don't make me turn this van around and we're going home. No, who you kidding, Dad? You want to go to Dollywood just like the rest of us do. Tapped all over Crowell. Larder up the road by a good 7 or 8 car lengths right now. Crowell and Taft slugging it out for second place. Crowell sideways off the tunnel turn. The bump caught him. That's going to let Taft close in. Coming into 3. Final corner. Who you riding with? I'll tell you who you should be riding with. It's right there, the number 2 Amped Energy Chevy Camaro. That is Jarrett Larder, your race winner. Crowell hangs on for second. Andrew Teft in third. Alex Teft in fourth. Dennis Kane, Ed DeBoer rounding out the drivers that did actually finish. And real quick, while we're waiting to get to our Victory Lane interviews, we are going to reach out to the hometown hero tonight, driver of the number 25, who had a bad, fast Toyota all night long. Paul Shaw, what happened? Hello, Paul. Do we have Paul? Why do we not have Paul? Paul left. Oh, great. Well, unfortunately, we're not able to talk to Paul Shaw, but we're going to reach out momentarily. There he is. We are going to reach out now to the man out of Centerville, Ontario, Canada. Oh, Canada, indeed. Congratulations on the win, Jared Larder.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming.
You had a bad, fast hot rod ever since that first pit stop. What adjustments did you make?
I've just been playing with the brake bias a little bit, but that was pretty much it. I was hoping it was going to stay green. I had enough fuel to make it all the way to the end. I wasn't sure about the other boys, but...
Well, you definitely had a bad, fast hot rod tonight. Talk us through just how bad was the tire wear?
Surprisingly bad. I was very surprised. When we were like 15 laps in, she started getting squirrely coming off all the corners, and I think after second fuel run, I got used to that, and I played to my advantage there at the end.
Well, you definitely had it play to your advantage. Congratulations on the victory here at Pocono. Who helps you get it done on the deuce?
Well, first off, gotta let my fiance for dealing with me. And then just rest of the boys here, the more they let me race, it seems like the better I've been getting.
Well, you're running with a good group of guys. Some of the fastest guys in Nextgen Cup cars on the entirety of the iRacing server are here with Racers Elite. And, again, Jarrett, you had a bad, fast hot rod ever since that first pit stop. You were down there a little bit, but you definitely turned things around and turned it on when you needed to. Congratulations on the victory here tonight at Pocono. We'll see you next week, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And joining me now is the man who came in just a little bit shy of victory lane. Did lead a ton of laps here tonight, though. Corey Crowell, congratulations on the podium, all things considered.
Hey, thank you.
Talk to us what happened there. You looked like you were struggling with it going tight, then loose, then tight, then loose at different ends of the track.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like the very beginning of the race, everything was perfect. Then middle of the race, everything started to fade. And then near the end, it was just all over the spectrum. That last run that we had for that green, white, checkered. Wish I was either one more lap or I didn't have to battle for second there. I wish I was a little closer to give him a little jab at it, but overall, good day.
Well,
I think if I run one more race here, I might win it. So we'll see.
You held off one of the best in the league there in the closing lap, so congratulations on second place. And is it safe to assume you're from Ohio, sir?
I am. I am from Ohio.
Those look like Buckeyes on your helmet.
That indeed they are.
That's why I was asking. Corey, who helps you get it done on the 21?
Yeah, so B. Evans Designs, after designing a bunch of my cars. Spread Eagle Fugitive on Twitch. Yeah, and then my kids and my wife for putting up with me while I'm doing this. I want to thank Racers Elite for again letting me join in on this, and yourself there, Tony, for broadcasting this.
You guys give me action like you did tonight. I'll be happy to broadcast you. I got you guys till the end of time. That was an amazing race.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, Andrew, he was fast, and I didn't see him at first, and then near the middle of the race towards the end, I mean, he was all over me, way ahead of me.
The thing is, all three of you guys that finished on the podium had bad, fast hot rods tonight, and all three of you led a good number of laps. So,
right.
Coming home with the podium, man, congratulations, and we're going to see you next week, my friend.
All right, thank you.
And joining us now, he was the points leader coming in. He's going to be the points leader coming out. The pride at Hope Valley, Rhode Island, Andrew Teff. Congratulations.
Hey, how's it going?
You tell me how's it going, bud, because, I mean, that looked like it was fun as hell out there.
Yeah. Thought I had it made there for a second, but yeah, it's just part of it. Spencer's headset went out on him, so yeah, restart's a part of it. Just got to get it done.
All right. Well, Andrew, again, congratulations. You had a bad, fast hot rod most of the night. I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Jarrett. How bad was the tire wear, and were you ever at any time thinking of going 2 tires?
I didn't really feel like I needed to at any point because I was doing the 3-stop thing.
Fair enough. Andrew,
just didn't feel like a good bet.
Well, I mean, Ed tried it, and I wasn't sure I agreed with it at the time. But Andrew, again, you had a bad, fast hot rod all night. You and your brother both finished pretty decent here tonight. Matter of fact, 3rd and 4th, respectively. And that's going to be bragging rights at the breakfast table, I assume.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, congrats to Jarrett. He's always fast, and Corey's 2nd podium in a row. So he just joined us this week and been on podium twice already.
There you go. Andrew, who helps you get it done on the 6th?
Yeah, thanks to you for doing this. For servicemen and women, my family for letting me do this. Everybody that tunes in and shows up to race.
Go Air Force. But Andrew, again, you guys keep giving me action like you did tonight. I'm not going to bitch and complain about a race ever again with you guys because that was amazing at the front all night long. You guys were awesome.
At the end.
Huh?
It certainly spiced up at the end, but yeah, the battles were good the whole race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Pretty tough to pass, so we wind up side by side for a number of laps.
You guys keep giving me stuff to talk about like that, and trust me, I'm your broadcaster for life at that point. But Andrew Teff, congratulations. Coming out of here still with the points lead. Best of luck to you next week. Where are we next week, by the way?
I've got to take a look myself, actually.
Because unfortunately, I don't have a schedule, I don't think.
Yeah, going into Michigan.
All right, then.
Pretty similar.
From one IndyCar track to another IndyCar track. All right. What are your thoughts going into the house that Penske built?
Yeah, it's a lot like this. Kind of curious on the gearing. I haven't been there in a little bit, so I can't quite remember if you just leave it in 5th or you got a downshift in the corners, but certainly going to find out.
You're probably going to want to leave it in 5th and just let that thing eat. But Andrew Teff, congratulations on another podium. We will see you next week at Michigan, sir.
Thank you.
And that is going to put another one in the books for us. Jared Larder, Corey Crowell, Andrew Teff. We just spoke to those 3 gentlemen. Congratulations to all 3 of them. Alex Teff kept that car clean all night long. Just that minor little incident with his brother there on the first green-white checker restart. Dennis Kane coming home in 5th. Ed DeBoer, Kirby Wayne Scott, Paul Shaw, Spencer Henneman rounding out your 9 starters here tonight. Ty Gooden only getting show-up points after not passing Tech during pre-race inspection. That is going to do it for us tonight here from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Be sure to hit the like button. It really does help share these videos around the YouTube universe. The more likes a video gets, the more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to show up on someone's homepage of, hey, you might like to watch this. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media, as we have multiple races 7 nights a week. I'm Tony Chapassa, reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, until we get a chance to meet again, and as you walk down the road of life this week, do me a huge favor. Please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.